Is it on? No, the camera. Is it on? Are we live? Nice.
Good.
People can hear you.
Is there a picture on that camera?
Yeah.
Huh.
Check on your phone. Check the view.
Well, we're just batting 1,000.
My employee said to me last week, "It's okay. To err is to human." I'm like you mean like air? She's like, yeah, to err. Like
to err. I was like,
out.
to err. What are you talking about?
And now I say it all the time. All the time. To err
Yeah,
is
black
to
screen.
human.
Yeah, both cams.
Both?
Both cams.
What the fuck?
This is where we troubleshoot.
And then
No. Give me 2 seconds.
Take 10 seconds. To err is to human.
You put the intro music back on.
you want me to?
Intro.
That's what we do in our spare time.
Okay. What a day for fuck ups. That's all on me.
I don't think so. I think that was the technology. Or what did you?
I probably did something.
Did you err?
I did err.
But to err is to human.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody. I'm Jim. This is the Graybeard Podcast, and today with me, I have back again my friend, Miss Kaitlyn Flames. That's the only way I know you.
That's what you should call me. I love it. I absolutely love it.
I didn't know if you wanted me to use is like a full name or whatever.
Who needs a government? I mean, I'm sorry, but that is not. We are not here for that.
No, we're not. No, we're not. So I've been following your story and just trying to keep. I try to keep up with all my friends, keep tabs on everybody, and just see how they're doing. And you've been like a busy bee.
Yes, I have.
what all have you been getting your little fingers into?
So, we talked about before, I moved here from Pennsylvania a little bit over 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
When I came to work in the business realm and HR. I'm still doing that, of course. And then like we talked about on the last podcast, we still have Flirting with Flames.
Yes.
So we're that small business owner as well. So we got that corporate side, we got that small business owner side. And then since then, I've actually taken on a new venture, which is being the marketing coordinator for a ethical clothing company that's based over in Indonesia.
Very cool.
The passion work is there. I absolutely love it. So we're wearing lots of hats, still writing poetry, still paddleboarding, still love the dog.
yeah, no, that's good. And one thing that I always love about you is that you've always been very positive, and like it's just uplifting to watch, to view your page and see what you're doing, and it's nice. It's like sometimes you see a lot of stuff on the internet and it's not very nice.
Right. Absolutely.
But you're doing great. I hope everything is good.
Everything's great. I mean, money's flowing, opportunities are flowing. I feel surrounded by
Yeah.
love. I'm surrounded by love, which is, what we're
Perfect.
here to talk about today. One of the
Absolutely.
best parts. And I have love in my life, and I'm blessed for it.
Yeah,
I'm blessed for it. I
absolutely.
have friends that hit me up to come talk and bullshit on the internet. Like life is good, man.
That's how we do it. That's how we do it. What? So like you do a lot of like, you're outside a lot. You're always out there in the nature.
Yes.
Which is good. I love that. We love nature. But you like, well, let's go back. I was going to say this clothing line that you've kind of been dealing with, it's really, it's kind of built around like natural stuff and nature, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two different kinds of fiber that the company I specifically represent uses. One is an organic bamboo.
Okay.
And then the other is a 90-10 blend of a plant viscose and a Leica or Lyrica. They're don't show them this. But just a better alternative to polyester, because as
Right.
we know, is no different than crushing up a plastic bottle and then
Trying to wear
grinding it down and putting it on your skin. So it's overall better fabrics for working out in, better fabrics for wearing altogether.
Yeah.
Just like the books we consume and the TV shows we watch, we are what we wear. So it's really nice to work for a small company that represents that type of ethical practices.
Yeah.
When in a world where it's Shein and Temu and $1.99 shirts, and you have no idea where they're coming from or the hands that are making them.
Yeah.
How
Don't even
young
get me
are they?
started. I tell people all the time, I'm like, oh, you're going to Shein? Oh, slave labor shirts and pants? Okay.
Meanwhile, we're in Jacksonville. We have the Riverside Arts Market. We have beautiful.
She just came from there.
So did I. I'm plugging a company right here, Agni Clothing. She has all of her stuff is like, I believe, don't quote me, but like a linen or a cotton blend every single time I go, and I'm supporting someone where like I know her son. I see her son when I go there, and
it's very personal.
Like that's better than logging on and seeing how cheap I can possibly get something.
Right.
Right, and it works for any concept in life. Is you get what you pay for, or you get what you put into it, right?
Right. Yeah, no, it's a problem that I have with this country that we live in. I love where we live. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like shitting on it. I'm just saying it's like we went through a period of time where everything was like all these greedy, corporate people were like, how can we make more? Oh, it's cheaper to make it overseas. We can just do everything overseas. I mean, it's what happened to Detroit, like it was the car manufacturer capital of the United States. And like they started outsourcing all that and it just went to shit, that whole place. I mean, for Mother Earth, it's great because it's starting to take over all the houses. You see trees like growing straight up through houses and stuff.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah, it doesn't take long.
No,
It's
it
been
doesn't.
like 50 years and it's already happening like that. But no, I love, and that's one of my favorite things is like, I guess passions is like highlighting local businesses and local people and, of course my friends and, just whatever they're into. It just, I just think that there needs to be more of that. I mean, I have no aspirations to be interviewing people that I don't want to talk to, like I don't need to talk to like actor, like I don't never need to talk to Brad Pitt or somebody like that. I don't.
That don't mean anything to me, so I don't have the time for it. Yeah,
exactly. This means more to me than anything.
My heart.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking to you and talking to people that like next week I've got, I believe her name is Phoenix Marie. She does like a medical.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I love that, and if I can do that and highlight you guys and at least if nothing else get a good conversation out of it and you can clip it up however you want, and get some content from it because that's what the world's coming to right now, right? It's all content based, everything.
I just came from a cool culture event and I go there and they're so like beautiful and I want to highlight the businesses that are there, so I bring my little DJI camera and I'm going around and some people are like, you work here? I'm like, no, I love to help local businesses, and before you know it, you're making friends and you're building community simply by supporting people who are trying to do right, and most of the time, if not I would say like 99% of the time, the goods and services that you're buying from a smaller company, from a smaller business, have more heart, are made with better materials, are fresher, are using less, if not any unethical business practices. So the answer is clear. So we got to move in the right direction.
Yeah.
So.
Do you see it happening? Do you see like a shift from big box to like going back to mom and pops?
I do. I see it everywhere, but I can only speak for Jacksonville.
Right.
I'm seeing it happen quicker and quicker and quicker because it's more accessible. Now we have more farmers markets. They're opening earlier. More, just coffee carts, specialty stores. And that's what I want to buy my things from, the specialty shops. Not where I go to Walmart and there's like 17 million options and I'm just overwhelmed by the big lights, So, yeah.
100%. Like, why and how did Matcha Mommy come about?
It was so natural.
I thought about trying to get you some matcha tea in here or something.
Stop. I had one on my way over. Plug in Funny Girl Coffee. She's the best. She's the absolute best. Shout out Funny Girl Coffee. She's funny. I watch her stories and I'm cracking up. But Matcha Mommy came naturally because slightly before like matcha absolutely blew up, I'm always on my phone. I'm always like catching the trends, right? Try to catch them before they start. And I'm like, oh, like matcha's becoming popular. And I created this map that started out with maybe like 28 places. And I share it for free. Message me on Instagram. I got you. It's Matcha Mommy, but the O is a 0. And now 102 places in Jacksonville that serve coffee, tea, or matcha. And small. We're not talking like chains.
Right.
So it happened naturally. I was like, this is a marketing opportunity and it's something that I absolutely love. And then who knew how big matcha was going to become right now? Like it really is taking over. I wasn't expecting that.
I've never tried it. I don't know what it even is.
So the difference between matcha and every other tea out there is that the matcha is crushed up and ground up. You're actually consuming the leaves, the stems,
okay.
Whereas tea is steeped.
Right.
Matcha itself has a pretty earthy, and depending on how you make it, can have a chalky texture. I don't like that chalky kind. But it's definitely a acquired taste, similar to how most people don't drink their coffee black. Matcha's gonna taste like you drink your coffee black, of course. Yeah, of course.
I taught her the same thing.
I'm over here with my flavored Monster energy drink, but all right, you'll be the anomaly.
Yeah.
But
I'm just old.
Not many matcha drinkers will just say like, oh, I want a matcha, like no oat milk, no flavoring or anything. But some OGs do, and I mean, all the power to you. All the power to you, black coffee drinkers as well.
I've heard some. I don't know. I've heard some things. People said it tastes. You said it tastes earthy, so that probably sums it up. It's a little grassy.
It's very yeah, exactly. People say this tastes like grass, and you're either gonna hate it or you're gonna love it.
With anything.
And if you hate it, you just gotta pair it with your favorite sweetener.
Right.
Not saying that everyone has to go out and drink matcha, but definitely.
Is there health benefits to it?
There are none that I can like speak on. I don't,
just caffeine maybe.
Google it, but there is a smaller amount of caffeine than a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
So the caffeine hits a little bit different. It's a little bit more mild.
Okay.
But yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, not to harp on matcha.
No, listen, we got.
It was curious because I've always, when I met you, it was Flirting with Flames, and I was like, when you came up with that, I was like, well, are you not doing the fire, performing anymore, or are you doing something else? Are you still doing the fire performing?
I am. I took a little bit of a hiatus.
Okay.
The performing arts is such a difficult in my personal experience. I'm a sensitive person, so it's just such a cutthroat, like competitive environment from my personal experience that like making it a large portion of my income base was stripping the joy out for me. I wasn't able to find that balance myself. Now, who's to say that I may work myself up to doing more fire and less marketing? For now, I like the fire being a side gig. Nothing I love more than going to like a child's birthday party or a private gender reveal. Not that I'm opposed to corporate gigs or anything like that, but still doing fire, still taking bookings, fully insured, always got a safety on hand, trained.
How long have you been doing the fire thing? Because it's been a while now.
Since I moved here.
Yeah.
It wasn't big in my communities back up in Pennsylvania, or at least it wasn't obtainable. Like, we saw fire spinners at festivals, but was that really something that was accessible or we knew how to get our hands on? No. And then in Florida, it's just so much more popular.
Which is weird. You would think Pennsylvania, where it's mostly cold.
We would want to warm. We would
You would
want
want fire stuff.
We would want to warm up. Yeah.
But here it's hot as hell, and everybody wants to set shit on fire.
Hey, well, listen. Now my Pennsylvania fire spinners are gonna be like, you don't remember us? Yeah, so it's all over, but it's a very niche community,
It
right?
is, yeah.
Very niche, but we're still doing it. We're still loving it. I'm just taking it more seriously, but less seriously at the same time.
I got you.
I don't know how to elaborate more on that without being a walking paradox or contradiction.
No, I think I get it. It's kind of like you're taking the business side more seriously and maybe be a little more selective with your jobs, but maybe not so much the content.
It's passion work. So
not
I want to be selective. And when I was leaning more towards doing that or looking at doing that as a full-time thing, you don't get to be as selective with your opportunities. And that's just my path. Like, I have so many respected fire friends that do it full-time, and I look at how much they hustle, and it is so inspiring. I don't look at it as like that's me someday. Like, that's a little much. Like, I keep it at my level. I like to have my hand in a bunch of different buckets rather than focus on one thing.
No, you're smart. You're very smart about that. That's good. I mean, I imagine as a fire performer, it's like that when it does start to catch on and everybody goes, ooh, I want to do that. And they start doing it and they start learning it. And I don't know if there's schools for it or people teaching it. But I hope, that people aren't just doing it willy-nilly and just, hurting themselves, because it's very dangerous.
Correct.
But when it's done, but it's just like with anything, it's like the field almost becomes saturated, and then it's like hard to set yourself apart from other people. I imagine, just like photography or anything
absolutely
like that,
can
or
be.
podcasts. It's like, but
it can be.
I feel like there's going to be a point where everybody just kind of some people will hang in there and some people will fall off.
Just like with any, I wouldn't even call it like a fad, but just like with any like phase, right? And not that I'm challenging what you said, how there's a lot of competition, it can become oversaturated. I'm a firm believer that there is enough room in the ballroom
100%.
for everyone, because there are fire performers that are specific to children. There are fire performers that say, I will never I can't perform in front of children. My acts are absolutely not appropriate for children, or not me specifically, but there's corporate, there's private, there's so much variety in the world of entertainment. Not even just fire. Most people that do fire also do, whether it be aerial or stilts or juggling. That there is definitely enough pie for everyone to have a piece.
Yeah, I didn't mean it like.
Oh, I didn't take it that way. It's just sometimes that I just wanted to make it very clear that if anyone's out there and they're like, I kind of want to get into fire, there are accredited teachers out there. It is a little bit difficult to find that information, but the good thing about most fire performers is we don't gatekeep. If someone is coming to me and saying, hey, I want to do this, I'm like, come over, let's do it safely with a fire extinguisher, and I can show you and teach you the rules, or
how to be safe,
just
the basics.
We're not going to gatekeep any information from
Good.
you. Is it cheap to learn how to, for example, fire eat or fire breathe? No, it's very expensive and very even much more dangerous than regular fire dancing, but the resources are available, and Florida's definitely the place to learn.
Maybe that could be another little notch on your, like another thing that you do in your entrepreneurial life is add that teaching aspect. I think I do, just like with anything that's, that can be dangerous but also beautiful. It's like there definitely needs to be somebody out there teaching it.
Absolutely. And in the performance arts world, there's always going to be different levels, but still there's that standard of practice. There's that standard of safety, but also that standard in price rate. So, that's a whole other conversation in itself. But
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you've done it, and you could teach people if you really want to do this and you want to take it to the next level. Like I can teach you how to market yourself. I can teach you what the rates are. You know, that
Yeah.
you know, really, because people that are just by themselves and they're going at it alone, they don't know anything.
Because it's important to have a mentor. And
Yeah.
like, shout out to mine. You know who you are. Like, if you don't have a mentor, you don't have enough humility in your practice to grow. I know that's like a harsh statement now that it comes out of my mouth, but I do stand by it. If you're not a pro expert and have already gone through the hours or had a mentor or did X, Y, and Z, then absolutely having a mentor is important. I have one for fire right now. I went to an accredited and close friend as well, and I said, listen, can we trade services? Can I organize some of your like online stuff? Like what do you need from me on the marketing side? And it was just like it was a match because I respect this performer. They respect me in the marketing world, and who doesn't love a bargain, and who doesn't love a mentor that you already get along with.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say that my message to anyone who is interested in fire is to reach out, get a mentor. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
Yeah.
Yes, we have all burned ourselves.
Yeah.
And if you
imagine,
and you will too.
yeah, I've seen some like photographers with like it's always the sports teams. You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
And they like light the balls on fire or they'll light the kid's hand on fire. I'm like,
I'm the one that looks at those things and I'm
I
like,
cringe.
that looks cool. I'm like, but where's your safety team? Like where
yeah,
where
well,
are they
I mean,
at?
we don't see all the behind the
Of course.
scenes, but I'm sure I'm hoping they have that, but I think that just like showing that without explaining that, you have a lot of measures in place, and they may, because I don't read comments.
Yeah.
But it's just like, God, dude, it just on first sight, and then kids see that, and they're like, we could do that. Just get some gasoline, you know.
And it's like what we talked about before is types of fuel, types of clothing,
Right.
things like that. Is we have to look broad brush, the big picture of, okay, I want to get involved in this. Say if I wanted to become a DJ tomorrow, I would have to look into, okay, do I got enough for the equipment? That's a traveling career. What's going to happen with my dog? You have to look at, as a bigger
Everything.
picture. And sometimes that can be difficult because you don't know what you don't know until you know it. So being around professionals and asking questions and having mentors all comes right back around. That's why it's so important. You're less likely to fall into those mistakes, and maybe a singe of the hair every now and again is a little bit better than a full-on flesh wound.
Yeah.
You know, you're like flesh wound.
Merely
No.
a flesh wound.
No, thank you. Oh, the fresh tat.
No, I just when you did that, I was like, I went to Monty Python. Merely a flesh wound.
Stop.
Yeah. So I've also noticed you've been doing a lot of like healing type of things and like those little sounding bowls and like a lot of
yes.
meditation and like, okay, like what is all of that? Because like I honestly am dumb to like any thing that's not if it's not right here in it's just it gets sorry for that.
No,
We're in
you're
Florida.
fine.
There's a little.
Yeah,
they're
you
here.
don't want to be in
They're
my
here.
house. They're everywhere.
Everybody, it comes up on every podcast. Fucking gnats, but yeah. If it's not right in my lane, I will just pass right by it. But somebody needs to direct me. But yeah, I mean, like I love anybody that's like into wellness of their mind and soul and body. You know, like I think we need all of those.
Yeah.
So I imagine that's what those types of things are.
Yeah. So I think wellness is such a broad category. It's going to be different for everybody, but for me, is learning to be a little bit selfish. Diving into the wellness world is realizing, okay, what works for me? For me, that's going to be yoga, Pilates, the occasional sound bath, paddleboarding, reading poetry. Some people, that's going to be walking around the park. That's going to be spending time with their dog, going to church. Everyone's version of wellness is different. And I think that the woo-woo part of it, the meditation, the sound bowls, the portions that are a little bit newer to our Eastern world, can be intimidating to some. I've watched so many people come to their first sound bath. I've had the pleasure of facilitating some sound baths for some individuals, and it's always a very similar response for someone's first experience. Is they're like, "Wow, I didn't know that I could sit with myself like that."
Yeah.
So, rambling, but coming to an answer is that wellness is definitely like a being able to sit with yourself and asking yourself, what is going to fulfill me and make me my best self so that I can show up for other people.
Right.
I think so often as a people pleaser, and I know that you can relate to this, I'll be like, here, let me support your business, let me do this. But like, did I get a good night's sleep? Like, did I eat breakfast? How am I? And it's really for me on this part of my journey, and what I've been posting about a lot on my Instagram and journaling about is how wellness can be just learning to sit with yourself and asking, what do I need?
Yes.
Before extending out, because what if I have nothing to extend? You know?
Right. If your plate is empty, you got nothing to.
Then I'm giving you
give.
BS. Then I'm. What support is that?
No, I love that. And like it's always funny because people will refer to those types of things as woo woo, and I don't think it's woo woo. Like, I think that more people need to really turn internally, like looking, like you said, like what's going on up there. We so often we neglect it, and it's easy because you get busy with work. You're working 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever, or even 8, whatever, however many hours you work. But it's like easy to get roped into that. And then after that day, you're just like, I just want to sit down and turn everything off. But you don't like think. You just literally turn on a TV, or maybe, have a few drinks or whatever. And it's
distraction.
Distract yourself from the problem. Ultimately, that's why I love plant medicine. We love that.
Absolutely.
It does kind of force you.
Correct. You're there. You're facing whatever you're facing. And
it's like being locked in a room with yourself, and the other you wants to beat the shit out of you.
Isn't that's an amazing analogy? So you talk about working on yourself, and I have a conversation that comes up often with my very close friend, and about the term shadow work, right? And I don't say this with any negative connotation. Call it whatever you will. But shadow work, redefining, restructuring, realigning, whatever you call it, we're facing our demons, right? We're looking ourselves in the mirror and saying, what could I have done differently in that situation? How did I contribute to that conflict? Where wasn't I the good guy? I think so it's so easy to cast ourselves as the protagonist in every story that we belong to, but the truth is that we are the enemy in some people's story, or for some reason or not, whether it matters to us or not, and it shouldn't for most people. Some people aren't going to like you.
That's too heavy. You listen, nobody wants to hear that.
But let me tell you one deeper. So let me tell you one deeper, okay?
Yes.
Prepare yourself for this. Some people are not going to like you, and they're going to have every single reason not to.
Yeah, and that's got to be okay.
And that's their truth.
And you never even know. That's the crazy part.
Just like you have your truth. I'm sure you can probably relate. Most people can relate to just not vibing with someone.
Yeah.
So choosing to remove your energy from that person. Sometimes it doesn't always require a conversation. Sometimes it isn't like hey, you buddy, I'm out of here. Sometimes it's just okay. I want you to eat at that table, and I'm gonna go eat at this table over here.
Yeah.
So,
or it could be like we were talking, the other day. I had a friend that was like very helpful to me. She's just an amazing person. You probably met her if you've ever been down to the arts market. She used to sell soap and stuff. But we were like really good friends, and like both going through a lot of hard times. And we would talk to each other for like 8 hours a day on the phone, like so much.
I love that.
And like she was
so free talk therapy is what you got.
Basically. And it was it's crazy because she like was with me through all my trials and tribulations, and by the time I got like this house bought and moved in, and it was like,
and you still had your head on, I know, buying out. And
yeah,
it's not
but it's just, for some reason or other, and I'm not sure what it was, but it was like the last conversation we had, and I'll never forget it. Like I love her to death. I would do anything for her. And I knew she felt the same way about me. But the last conversation we had, she was like, we were hanging up and she goes, "Hey, are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." I said, "Are you good?" And she goes, "Yep." I said, "All right, I love you." And she said, "I love you too." And then we hung up and I haven't talked to her since. It wasn't like, it was almost like we knew, like she just knew that she knew I didn't need her anymore. And I knew that she didn't. And I was like, "Go live your life. We're both healed now." It wasn't like a bad thing.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it wasn't a negative thing. It wasn't like, I had to block her. No, it wasn't like that at all.
From what I'm hearing, is you've served your purpose
Right.
in each other's lives. And I think, I read it somewhere, but I don't remember where, is an evolving circle of friends is, sometimes it can be devastating because we separate for negative reasons, but like having a revolving circle of friends is a sign of being highly intelligent. You're questioning yourself. You're being around new people, places, and things. You're challenging yourself with new ideas. And I think that your story is particularly beautiful. My one friend, the same friend I referenced before, she said, we're probably not going to be this close forever. She's like, we'll probably, get older. Maybe we'll grow out of going to music festivals. Maybe we'll, I'm trying to get married, I'm not. So, just, I think accepting that as a potential reality, I find in society that we rely a lot on forevers. Oh, we're best friends forever.
Right.
We're going to be together forever. I'm going to work for this company forever. And like, I don't want to put that restricts you more than it provides you safety.
Right.
I think in a lot of sense. So.
And it's also unrealistic. Nothing
Right.
is forever.
Right.
I don't like to talk in like definites and finite things, and absolutes,
Ooh, in finalities.
Yeah, because nothing lasts forever. I mean, nothing. And I just I wish that we could teach that to and I look at you because you're younger than me. Okay. You're younger, okay? You're a kid. You're my kid. But like the younger kids, like the little ones, when they're in high school and elementary school, they think their best friend is going to be their best friend forever. Or this boyfriend they got in high school is going to be their boyfriend forever. And then when they break up, it's like the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like if you would learn this early, you would probably come to grips and be like,
You break
chapter.
up with someone when you're 32 and it's like,
yeah, on to the next chapter.
All right, I'm going to go get lunch now.
Yeah. Which sucks, and it's almost like, how could you be so cold? But it's not even about that. It's like, I'm okay with this.
Right. It's a beautiful thing of self-sovereignty in a way. We're talking about speaking in finalities and in black and white thinking. Some of the best constructive criticism that I have ever gotten in the professional setting many years ago was, you speak in finalities. Someone is either in support of you or they're not in support of you. And I took that advice and I dug so deep and I put that to practice. And I hope that in today's world that this person who gave me that advice, if we would meet each other again, who knows if they follow me on social media or not, I
Probably.
wonder. An old coworker, but I would hope that I would make them proud.
Yeah.
Because if someone is willing to have a hard conversation with you, that means that they care about you. And in that moment, she didn't have to have that conversation with me. She
Right.
It didn't make a difference in her life whether I improved or stayed the same.
Yeah.
But she did.
Yeah,
And
most people that have those tough conversations, they do care about you.
Yeah.
You may not realize it or see it in the moment, but for sure, there's something there.
Right.
I mean, there are some people out there that just are completely oblivious to how they act and treat other people. What do they call them? Sociopaths?
Yeah, that's the difference. A sociopath is someone who doesn't care or take the advice, and then there are people who, yes, they are a little bit oblivious, but how do they take that constructive criticism when it's brought to them? If they're open about it, cool, great, awesome. But if there's someone that's like, oh no, I'm perfect, I'm handling everything perfect, and I'm great, and you suck, and you're misinterpreting the whole situation, and so did the 7 people before you. It's like, all right, brother. Okay. Yeah.
That is a little bit of a conundrum. It's I don't know. Life be lifing.
Oh, what? life be life,
and
man.
people have their own. I mean, I don't know. I don't get wrapped up in. I find and maybe it's age. I don't know. Maybe it's the plant medicine. I don't know, but it's
It
we
could be
don't
both.
do it very often. Just when I need it, But
Yeah.
it's like I know when I start getting anxiety about life and stress, that's when I'm like, okay, we need to have a session,
Correct.
and turn internally.
For some
but
people, that's plant medicine. For some people, it's rollerblading in circles
Yeah,
until they
whatever.
can't. Until they're not thinking about it anymore.
yeah, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know we'll kind of dive into, the I'm not sure how to broach this topic, but we're gonna work it out. We're gonna figure it out. We'll
Yeah.
navigate this thing together.
We're gonna have a tough conversation
Yeah.
because we love each other.
Yes. Well, it's never tough.
it's never
tough. But it's just the subject matter. It's a sensitive topic.
Absolutely.
And I know you've expressed there's for sure some things that are that need to be they're a little red flaggy, and there's some highlights about things, but not to knock down the entire,
Exactly.
community. It's not that, and we're not, I'll let you describe or discuss exactly what it is I'm trying to get at.
Yeah. I think that what we're going to talk about a lot today is community period.
Sure.
Community period. And what does that mean to each one of us? And then what does a healthy community look like? What does a community that is unhealthy look like? For me, I stand very firm in honesty, in conflict resolution, and not using words like community and safety and inclusivity as propaganda or buzzwords. All of these things need to be practiced. So oftentimes, if I'm joining a new community, recently I got into Pilates, and I was like, okay, this is a new community for me. When I left my first Pilates class, there are some things that I asked myself. Were these people kind to me? Did I feel welcomed when I came through the door? Did I feel rushed when I was leaving? Was I given enough space?
Right.
Was my body, did I feel like my body was being celebrated, or did it make me feel small? And while some of that most certainly can be personal projections, and that's where that shadow work, we have to keep ourselves in line. But that we can really just ask ourselves questions to make sure that these promises that are being made to us of safety and inclusivity, what does that look like? How is that practiced? And it can be a little bit of a sensitive subject because everyone wants community and everyone wants love. Community is the answer, right? I think that community heals. There's a reason why since the beginning of time we've been gathering and commuting. We're not a single family cell that doesn't talk to any other families. We live in community. But there are certain questions that we definitely have to ask ourselves. And if we are a leader of a community, really dig inside and say, okay, how am I withholding the values and the morals that I'm standing behind? What are the morals and
Right,
values
that
that I'm
part.
standing behind? That part. So that you're going to ask tough questions. For me, when I'm joining a community, whether that be a Pilates class or my beautiful flow community down in Gainesville, I ask myself, do I feel celebrated?
Right.
Do I feel safe? What were to happen if I were to bring conflict to these leaders? Do I feel comfortable in doing so? So
Have you? I don't imagine you want to talk about anything specific, correct?
yeah, I don't want to talk about anything specific, but I've definitely experienced my own firsthand situation in which I have left communities because I felt that conflict resolution either was not present or wasn't effective. And that doesn't mean that that community is bad or that the people in it are inherently bad. It just means that it was somewhere that I didn't feel comfortable.
Right.
Which also leads to not every community is for everybody.
Correct.
Because there's so many of them,
Well, there's to put it bluntly, there's an asshole in every community.
Right.
I mean, that's just the way I see it. That's the way I voiced that. I mean, you said it much more eloquently than me. But I mean, just like in every house, you know, there might be somebody that just don't jive with everybody. I'm not talking about you.
Well,
Probably me.
I think too is that when we talk about like safe places, right, and how it should be a practice and not just a propaganda, is
Right.
like what is safe to me may not be safe to the person next to me. So it comes down to a question of inclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
Inclusivity gives, by definition, means that we include everybody.
Everyone.
But inclusivity does not mean acceptance of all behavior.
Correct.
I can be an inclusive person. I don't judge people by the color of their skin or their sex or, you know, all that. But, you know, it really just comes down to safe spaces and then asking ourselves the right questions to get there.
Right. So you talked a lot about like safe spaces, and that was like, what does that mean to you? Like, what is a safe space to you? You know, like that's kind of like, I mean, I get it. It should be pretty self-explanatory, you know, it's where you feel safe, right? But
what's safety? Physical safety, emotional safety, spiritual safety. To a certain extent, emotional and spiritual safety really can't be provided by another person. It can be encouraged, and we can cultivate a container that helps encourage it. But I think now I'm like, what does safety mean to me? Physical safety is obviously number one. When I'm in a space, I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be harassed. You know, all of that. I think that's the most basic. But for me, it's the ability to take up space, to be accepted for who you are. That doesn't mean that all your behavior is going to
Correct.
be accepted. But really just to walk the walk. It's so hard to put a description to it
Yeah.
for me sometimes, because I've seen so many examples of inclusivity being used as like a word on a flyer.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, in what way? Like, I'm going to put it to you. This is going to be easy. If a place is safe and inclusive and community driven, why do we need to say that?
Right.
It's skate club. Come, have a
Right.
good time. It's we have this open mic. Great. Everyone's welcome. I feel that almost, I'm not going to speak in finalities. I'm going to stop myself. I feel that many events in Jacksonville are leaning on terms like inclusivity and safe spaces that are not inherently bad words by nature, but it's almost understood if we're hosting something that's open to the public.
Should be understood.
Right. So I don't want to go as far as to say it's a little bit red flaggy when I see
I think
those
it's
words.
gaslighting a little bit.
A little bit. I'm just like, all right, like if you're safe and inclusive, like, is there something that happened that made you need to clarify that?
Right.
But I can think
why do I need to see that on your flyer? Like, just tell me where and when
right.
and what we're doing.
Right. Now I think that in healing spaces, yoga, sound baths, I think that it's unavoidable to use words such as safe. Healing's a tough one for me. Healing I think is a very sensitive word to be used in advertisement, but it's safe space, inclusivity. Some of those are unavoidable in advertising for certain types of services, just because of those services being so rooted in spirituality, right? But again, we gotta walk the walk. If we're putting community-led, inclusive environment, please also list what your morals and values are, your ethics.
Right.
I'm not saying that every gathering has to be a corporate event. We don't
Right,
have to
right.
have it a publicized table of contents. But what do you stand for? What is the protocol if conflict does happen? Because segue. Conflict inherently is not negative. It's a side effect of community. It's going to happen if different personalities exist, but how that conflict is handled is really the question at hand. So
very true. Now I think it kind of boils down to like consent. I mean, almost it's and respect of people's boundaries. When you talk about like the meditation and the sound bath and just places where you're being inside your own head, you are maybe vulnerable physically, and you definitely want to feel safe. You know, especially if you're in a room with like 20 other people, and you know there's someone leading this thing, like maybe they don't know what the hell they're talking about. You know, maybe they don't know what they're doing, and that could be dangerous. You know,
correct.
I don't know. I've often kind of just like anybody that like claims they're a guru about anything, I'm like, the automatic red flag. I'm like, you're full of shit, man. I don't. Have you gone to the Tibet mountains and sat with the monks? Like, what are you talking about? You're a guru, you know?
Yes, absolutely. I've experienced a little bit of that myself, and that's where the ego comes into play, right? It really, we have to keep ourselves in check, especially when we're showing up and we're arriving to bigger collectives. Because it's not just about us anymore.
Right.
It's about everybody around us.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the guy that created like I think it was Bikram yoga. I think that was the one. But he was supposedly like some kind of guru. He didn't really create it. He just put the poses in a certain order. The sequences,
yeah.
But he turned out to be he was just like using his status to sleep with every woman in the place, and became completely synonymous for that. And of course they ran him out of town. You know,
there's one in every community.
Not the ideal safe space, quotey fingers.
Right. And I think that spaces where people are vulnerable, that's where it becomes tenfold more important, right? I'm going to use an example. You're a photographer, so this is gonna be great. We get invited to a yoga, breathwork, sound bath event, $20 admission. We pay at the door. We don't sign a consent form. There was no online registration where we consented to having our photos taken, and then a couple weeks later, those pictures are being used to advertise the next event.
Right.
While of course not everyone is going to get into the legalities of that is violating someone's sacred space.
Sure.
So just as an example, is how would you feel if you were having an emotional moment, or if you were deep in meditation with your eyes closed and you didn't agree to, nor were you expecting to have your picture taken, and then you like see it somewhere. So that's like just a common example that I see in the healing space, is that although that it is spiritual and wellness, and we don't want to be too meticulous and organized and professional, that there still are checkpoints that need to be taken in community settings to ensure that people are comfortable.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, as a photographer, it's my job. Like if somebody hired me, you know, if someone at one of these places hired me to come in and photograph, I would assume at that point in time, I would just assume that, hey, the business owner has done the legwork. He's gotten consent forms from everyone. But like, I did a shoot this morning at a gym, you know, and the first thing I did when I walked in, I pulled out my camera, and before I even pointed it up, I had it aimed down. And I said, is everyone cool with me taking photos and videos?
Yes.
If you're not, you just let me know, and you will not see my lens pointed at you.
It's so easy. I mean, yoga instructors say, hey, at the beginning of class, if you don't want to be touched or any hands-on assist, just raise your hand.
Right.
I'm the same. I mean, I record personal content of me doing yoga, and just with like a little personal GoPro like camera. But I make sure to tap the person next to me and say, hey, I know that you see that I have a tripod and a camera, but just so you know, you're not in my frame. I really want you to enjoy your workout.
Right.
It's these little courteous things that we can do for our neighbor that create community everywhere we go, honestly.
And it's like you said, it's the easiest thing. And people that don't do that, like, I mean, I've got to assume either you're an idiot and you don't know how to operate a business, or you're like trying to be deceitful, you know.
Correct. Like, and thankfully, most events that I attend in Jacksonville are extremely good with that. And just this morning, I went to a cool culture event. Love them. They have tons of photographers. A lot of them are close friends. And everyone in that building is scanned in, and they have signed that waiver via their electronic form. And it's just those little things that we can do to guarantee that we're all covered, that we all feel safe, we all feel good.
Is there a message that you would like to kind of get out to the people that are, using services in Jacksonville and other places? Is there like I said, I think other women or other men, other people that are utilizing these services, or maybe the people that are performing these services, like, is there like a message that you would like to, something you'd like to, just a broad blanket statement, not specifically aimed at any person?
Of course. I think that to ask questions. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to have open, hard conversations. Know that if there are not hard conversations happening, that means that things are getting brushed under the rug. Conflict happens everywhere we go. So just ask questions. But ultimately, the biggest piece of advice, I'm going to sound like such a cornball, but like, just be kind to your neighbor. Be kind to your fellow person in community. Be kind to the person that you see at Walmart. If we can all just take that one profound step, and a Reiki principle, just for today, I will be kind. Just for today, I will do my work honestly. If we just make that small promise to ourselves, community, safe, inclusive community does and will continue to happen naturally. Right.
And something you said, walk the talk, or walk the walk, or talk the walk. I've always heard, walk the talk. That's
Maybe I said it
because
wrong.
No, you didn't say
walk the walk.
Walk the walk. It's a saying too, but like in the business world, like where I came from, and it was always, we were taught, hey, if you say something, you better damn well be able to do it yourself. And it's just, most people expect, when you go to a business or you go to a function that's being led by someone, you kind of expect a certain mindset maybe from that person. And it's like, okay, if you're saying all of these things that you want to help people and this and that, and you damn well better be doing that. And that's 100% across the board. You know what I mean? It's not just setting up the room and having it ready, and then
it's not just a pretty Instagram picture.
No,
it's really not. And talk the talk, walk the walk. What they're saying now is, you are not what you say, you are what you do. All of these things, they have a core message, is that I can say that I am kind, and I can say that I am considerate, but what is the last kind thing that I have done? What is the last considerate thing that I have done? I could tell you, but just questions to ask yourself. None of us are perfect. No community is perfect. No union of two people is perfect. There is no such thing as perfection. But for us to get anywhere close to everyone being as comfortable as possible, it means open dialogue.
Yeah, being able to navigate when it's not perfect, because
correct,
like you said, nothing is perfect, and if you expect it to be, then you're delusional.
Oh goodness. Okay. Right. And that kind of leads me into the thought of that, most people looking for a bigger purpose or seeking community, there's people either who just moved to an area, or people who are seeking a larger purpose. So it's even just more important for those types of people to ask themselves, what am I seeking out of this? What am I looking to contribute to this? Just setting realistic expectations that nobody's perfect. People will make mistakes. And and that responsibility lies in each and every one of us. So if I'm in a community setting and Joe next to me says something that I view as inappropriate, I'm doing myself and Joe and everyone in the community a disservice if I brush it off.
Right.
So it's not easy sometimes being the, what do they call it, whistleblower, right?
Yeah.
You're the whistle. No one wants to be the one that is a tattletale. But there are just certain things that aren't acceptable in community settings.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, tattletale, whatever, whistleblower. If you're doing something,
I'll tattle the tail.
Yeah, I would for sure tattle on tails.
Advocating.
Yeah, advocating and you're being. I mean, that's honestly just not. You can't allow people to just get away with just whatever they want to do. People, there's
Correct.
always been if we lived in a world with no rules or no anything, it would just
Right.
be chaos. You would hope that you would find people that would be
Correct.
a great tribe for you. But again, there may be 100 people, and out of those 100 people, maybe 10 of them are going to be assholes.
And let me just also make a differentiation, is that in a community setting, right, there's a difference between Joe bumped me by accident one day, or
Right.
Joe spilt my coffee, and there's a difference between that and Joe is known for lying and manipulating women. Or Susie is known for sleeping with married men, or whatever the case may be. I know everyone says keep your nose in your own business, but if you are seeing people being negatively affected and you have the ability to speak up, that's our duty.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's affecting you inside of your like where you're at. I mean,
and some people can take that and say, well, Joe spilt my coffee one day and now I hate Joe, and I think that you should hate Joe too, and you should hate Joe too, and you should hate Joe too, and that's absolutely not what it's about. It's about making sure that unacceptable behavior is addressed. The end goal in a community, let's make up a scenario. Susie is next to Joe in Pilates class, and she tells him that, oh, you looked really good. You looked really good this class. That made him feel uncomfortable, right? That's that's a little bit different than like, oh, Susie bumped into me but one time. So it would either be Joe's responsibility to look at Susie and say, hey, Susie, that made me feel uncomfortable. That's the ideal solution, right?
Correct.
So that both people can just continue to move on. Now, let's say, different scenario, Susie inappropriately touched Joe, and Joe was kind of frozen, a little bit lost in the moment. And Joe went to a community leader and said, hey, this happened. I'm not quite sure what I should do about it. And the leader says, well, would you like me to address Susie? I think that is another great way of dealing with community conflict, because the end goal, as long as one person did not commit a crime, is to make sure that both people who are experiencing the conflict feel comfortable in that same community. It is not we're picking sides because so-and-so spilled coffee, but we're also not picking sides if someone makes a mistake.
Yeah, mistakes are easy to make, and we all do it. But was it a mistake or was it
Intentional harm.
And I love your little story about Susie touching. It's like the female harassing the male. That does.
Because
does that happen?
yes.
I'm kidding. I know it does.
Oh gosh, don't.
I know it's mostly the other way
another
around.
podcast.
I know, right?
So or mostly what we see, what is publicized, what is socially unacceptable. Girl hits on a guy at yoga class. Most people would probably say, lucky guy.
Correct.
That, my friend, that's sexism right there.
Yeah, it's a bad. That's. I don't even want to get. Boof. It just brought up some stuff in me, but I'm like, do I want to talk about that? Probably not, but. That's.
I'm gonna get a call later, like talk therapy. Like, we didn't talk about this on the
No.
show,
I just don't. I normally I would, and I'll talk to you about it, but I just I don't want to bring it up on your podcast. It's fine. No, it. I mean, I'm sure that it happens both ways, and yeah, I mean, those examples are like pretty spot on. I think for what to look for, and what to, how to kind of, I mean, and if you need a guidebook for like how to treat yourself and how other
to be a
people
human.
right. Like maybe there's a deeper issue, but I mean, some people do need that. They do need to be told.
People seeking healing that there is a bigger issue.
Correct.
Which increases the importance of the community leaders,
Right.
advocates, whatever you want to call it. Some would call it being trauma enforced. I would just say, having some sense.
Well, they have a huge responsibility. If you take on that role, you as a leader of a community of any, like especially like a healing space, that's a huge responsibility, and you better have some integrity about yourself. And
integrity.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, like that's what I've always told people. Anytime anybody questions me at work or something about a job I've done, I'm like, listen, I did it to the best of my ability, and I'll always do it to the best of my ability. All I have in this world is my integrity. That's it. And if you don't trust anything else, trust that I'm telling you the truth. But, that's like I said, if they don't have that integrity, or if they don't have just self-value or morals, I mean, it's like, Jesus, what are you doing up here? You ought not to be doing that. So, I mean, that is worth, to me, sounding an alarm, about that very thing.
Yeah. It's like it all comes down to me. I think there's a bigger issue of mental health services. I think that everybody should have access to therapy.
Correct.
I think that if we all even just talk therapy, someone who goes to therapy 3 times a week. I got different types of therapies. I got different therapists. I love them all. I think therapy is so important in addressing our demons. A lot of people don't have access, don't have the resources for that. And again, a bigger topic, but very, very sad that if there was just a little bit more room for mental health services being accessible, I should say, there would be less need to have the conversation that we're having.
Correct. Well, that's also to kind of double back real quick, but like when you said like therapy, there's all types of therapy. When people are like, I need to go to therapy. Well, but then they start thinking about, like, oh, I don't, really want to talk to anybody. Like I'm a therapist. What do they know? They're, I don't, or they're just going to put me on meds or whatever. Well, no, there's other types of therapy. There's whatever you want that therapy to be, whatever, working out, walking, talking to somebody, going to Pilates, going to, the sound bath, or going to whatever it is. There's therapy in whatever makes you feel good and get into a good headspace. That's your therapy.
Oh, I love it. Full circle. I love it. Full circle. Yes. Wellness to me is taking care of yourself. But dude, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was absolutely beautiful.
A happy accident.
To see it all come back to if I am being my best self and I am taking care of myself, then I have the best version to put out to everybody else.
Right.
And is that perfect? Absolutely not. Have I made mistakes in individual relationships, in community settings? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And why would we learn from them, right? Otherwise, we wouldn't know that bigger picture of what's needed versus what's not, right?
Sure. If you ain't learning, I mean, from every mistake. I mean, that's what, and this has been a trope that's been, not a trope, but like a theme that's been coming up over and over again. Do you have notes that you want to talk about? I want to make sure that we're covering all your stuff.
I think I got them.
Okay.
I got it all up here.
Okay.
And I keep going through. I'm like, yep, I think we're good there.
All right. I just want to make sure we cover everything.
Listen, I'm a structured lady, and I appreciate
I know
that you
are.
appreciate that.
I do. I very much do. I don't want to miss any of that.
No, this is going beautifully.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, it's easy to sit in here and just bullshit,
Right. It's just conversation, right?
Yeah. But I did just forget where the hell I was going with that. But it's okay. It happens. At my age, I'm lucky to remember my name.
Listen, it happened to me once or twice, and I'm just like, all right, yeah.
I know.
Back to the beginning.
Yeah, I know I was talking about something that keeps coming up over and over again, but I know I don't remember what it was.
I remember I said that I was an organized lady. You said... You said I appreciate that.
It's okay. We don't need to read. It'll come back to me. But what is coming up next for you? What does your future goal look like for your business is, your health and wellness, side, whatever, all of the things, what is going on with you?
Well, there may be a move in the future that I can't speak too much about,
Okay.
but definitely might be a move in the future. Jacksonville, you'll always have a piece of me, and I'll definitely be back, but that's definitely a possibility. Right now, I am flowing. I'm going with the flow.
Yeah.
All my life, I've been really, really fast. Go, go, go. What is the next thing? And right now, my answer to that is life's going to tell me what that next big thing is, as long as I show up with integrity and practice my crafts rather than scrolling on my phone at night. Just like,
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen.
I never.
I'm trying to nail a couple tricks right now that I know that I would have down pat if my screen time was lower. But really, the next big thing for me is practicing a lot more patience and grace with myself.
Yeah.
Because I want to be the best that I can be for other people without depleting myself.
Yeah.
And everyone learns that lesson at a different age, right? Everyone learns it. I feel like at 32, I'm 32? I think so. I'm looking at life. Yes, I am. I'll be 33 next
We
week.
have to remind ourselves.
That I'm looking at life through just a new lens of I almost woke up one day and realized you're hustling really hard and you like to hustle, but at what point is it too much hustle, girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Sit down. Enjoy your tea.
Yeah, you can go too hard, and learning yourself. I have no idea. I'm not who am I? I have no idea. What do I want? I have no idea.
I'm just a girl.
I'm just a girl. I'm just a man standing in front of a girl. No, I have no idea. You know what I mean? And I have had to start over in my life. I'm almost 50. Okay.
How beautiful is that, though?
Yeah. I mean, well, at first it was very stressful. The first time I ever had to start over was extremely stressful. It took me a long time to get centered and grounded and get my head on straight.
Yeah.
But every other subsequent time after that, it's been easier and easier.
The refractory period gets smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
Right?
It's less of, oh, I got to change my whole life around. Instead, it's more like, I think I'm going to go this way now.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. But
taking this path now.
Sure. And I love that you have the ability and where you're at in life to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you follow her or ever, but my friend Chris, she does van life. She just bought a house, but she does van life, and she's made a huge, social media presence, and she didn't even mean to. I just told her one day, I was like, you need to film all the shit you're doing out here, and she started doing it, and she just blew up, and. So it's just, but I love to see that, and I feel like y'all are some kindred spirits,
Yes.
whether you know her or not.
I follow.
Oh, okay, good.
I follow.
But it's just just get up and do what you want.
We can't place ourselves in a box. Now, I'm not saying.
You can, and people do.
Yeah, correct. But when you're a multifaceted individual. Mm-hmm. Embrace it. There are so many, and that's why we had that conversation of is flirting with flames still a thing? It's because I choose in my life not to identify with all the different hats that I wear. Mm-hmm. Those are my hats, and I'm myself doing those things. But I really try to focus on presenting who I am in the essence rather than defining myself by my relationships with others, what I do for work. No, ask me what my favorite color is. What's my dog's name, But really just presenting and learning who am I? Right. What do I stand for? What are my morals and values?
Right. And that was a huge question that I didn't even ask yet. How is the pooch?
He's wonderful. He just turned 8 years old.
Did you like the picture I
8.
posted on Instagram with the two of
Yes.
y'all that I shot?
I did get 2 people that said, I love this pic. I'm like, I'm
Aw.
reading my favorite book and my dog's at my feet. Like,
Yeah.
what more can I possibly ask for in my backyard that I've made my sanctuary? Like, that was one of the best days ever.
Yeah, it was super fun.
And now there's like a circle fire pit in the middle. It's
What?
crazy. Ruben is fantastic.
Awesome.
Ruben is the love of my life, my little man.
He's
I
a
call
cutie.
him little. My dog weighs just as
Yeah.
much as I do.
He's probably taller than you on all fours.
He's a Newfoundland poodle mix.
Did you not see the picture I posted on
wait.
Instagram?
He might be my background. That's his face. This is his nose.
He does have a boopable nose.
He's wouldn't harm a fly.
No, he's beautiful
You know,
and a sweetheart.
if he tries to rob the house, he's letting you in. He's showing you where the valuables
He's
are.
letting you in.
In exchange for treats, of course.
I mean, most of them. I haven't. There's not too many anymore that are like, "Rawr," you know. Most of the dogs I know are just like, "Hey, what's up, man?
They
Come on
deserve
in.
all the treats.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
You want to take some stuff? That's cool, man."
as a community with all these doodles. I know that the doodle is a controversial topic, but the dog world we're leaning a lot more into companionship and a lot less into work
Yeah.
and productivity. Because I know that my doodle ain't protecting me.
No.
He ain't doing no household chores. He can't sniff out nothing.
Unless it's like a loose piece of cheeseburger or something.
Right. My French German Shepherd, she's safe. She's good. She is.
Yeah. Well, that's the only thing my dogs are going to do is bark. And as soon as you get inside, they're going to be like, "What's up?
But
You
as
want
long
to
as-
scratch me, bro?"
We'll take that as long as they sound scary. I've had
Yeah.
I've opened the door and seen like a mailman or a male person.
Come on now.
We're
Don't
inclusive.
assume- yeah, don't assume genders.
Male person and just like start turning around. I'm like, oh my god, please let me just don't listen to him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess he sounds scary, so
Right.
I'll give him that.
And he's big. It's
Yeah.
menacing.
Unless
Yeah.
you shave him down, which I'll never do again.
Ah,
It's
did you do it?
terrifying. So I shaved him once, like myself, and that's when I realized why dog groomers are expensive. I used to, guys, for years and years and years. I was like, oh, why is it over 200? And when they come to you, like now my dog's got hip problems and he's getting a little bit older. So now I have the one that comes to the house. That's an extra $80, $100. But I see why.
Yeah.
It is so
There's a
much
need.
work. I bought myself the clippers. I watched the videos. I had a friend do it for a while who did like a kind of okay job, enough for me not to have to take him to the groomer. And now
Nope.
I'm calling up the mobile groomer, and you are getting a fat tip. You're getting a
Nice.
fat tip too, because that is hard work.
Yeah.
It is hard
But
work.
what a fun job. You get to just play with dogs all day.
And smell like dirty ones.
I mean, whatever.
Can you imagine being the person that gets called to houses to clean like Bichon frises? Like, you know how they get all mad and like they're white. I'm getting real negative here. I'm not talking
It's
ish
true.
on
It's
the
real
Bichon.
life. It's real life.
But yeah, they get
Shit
gunky and
happens.
gross, and like, I guess what I'm trying to say is the only gunky and gross that's okay is Reuben's for me. I could never clean someone else's.
Right. Yeah. Well, they're your babies. I mean, you know.
I'll hand over the money to have them groom
Oh,
because he
yeah.
comes back with that fresh bandana and
Mm-hmm.
and I don't
Smell
have
all
to do
good.
it.
Yep.
That's the important part.
That part. Yeah. I know. We do. I mean, our dogs definitely need to go to the groomers. Like clipping their nails. It's like a fucking. It's like
A
you're
murder
going
scene.
to war. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I'll do like the peanut butter in one hand and like clipping them in with the other hand, and it's hard.
We go a
but
little
I
more
can do it.
MMA here. Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, we get down and put them in a whole fucking lock.
Stop.
You know, there's tapping out.
You have multiple. You got multiple heads that can help.
Yeah.
I'm a one person show, and my dog,
Mm-hmm.
you know, weighs almost as much as I do. So
Yeah,
it gets difficult.
it's an unnecessary battle that you don't need. Let someone else do it.
I'm gonna ask you the question.
Okay.
Do
Flip
your
the script.
dogs bark at the vacuum cleaner?
No.
Okay, I saw a video. Mine doesn't either,
Mm-hmm.
but I saw a video online that if you yell at the vacuum cleaner, like "Don't you leave my dog alone! Don't you do that!" that the dog will stop barking at the vacuum cleaner. So I haven't found someone whose dog.
I don't
barks.
know if I believe that.
I've seen a video where, anything could be
Sure.
fake online, but if you have a dog that
You want to
is
try it?
afraid of the vacuum cleaner,
Maybe give it a shot.
maybe report back for
Yeah,
us.
I watched a lot. Like, here we go. Right, their mom used to call me Caesar Moron because I watched a lot of Caesar Milan, the dog whisperer. I watched all of his shows.
I'm
He
saying,
he had like 5 different shows going at once at one point, and I love that man. He's like the nicest guy. I hope he's really like that in person.
is he's the one who go, I am dog whisperer.
Right? He's Hispanic and he does the thing. Yeah.
Oh God,
But he talks
I
about
love
like there was an episode where there was a lady and every time she pulled her vacuum out, her little dog and attacked it, and he taught her how to. And then by the end of the episode, by the end of the hour, this dog was just laying on its bed, just chilling.
it's behavior. There's like psychology, behavior.
It's very much.
And notice how a lot of times these little dogs, and it's not the fact that they're little that they behave that way. It's typically the archetype of the owner of a small dog.
Yeah. 'Cause they're helicopter parent.
Correct. Or when small dogs are puppies, when any dogs are puppies, they're so cute. Like, how can you? My dog was cute and big, so like it wasn't that hard to discipline him. I mean, it was still pretty rough, but like to have a little cute thing that you have to discipline, I don't know if I could do small dog life. Mine might be yippy because I might not have the heart to discipline
Yeah.
the little tiny guy.
Well, the thing about discipline, like, and now this is like the dog episode now. It's all right. I love dogs.
I should have brought Ruben.
Yeah, you should have. I don't think Rhesus would try to mount him at all.
He's so submissive that like I could take him anywhere. I'm like, as long as your dog's either also a wimp or the bigger dog, which is gonna be the case, like we're good.
Yeah.
Like, he's fine. My dog's gonna.
But I think like training them or like disciplining them is less of, hitting them on the nose with a paper or hitting on them or
Positive
any of that.
reinforcement.
Or just, leading with your, like, like we've been talking about, like leading with authority, being calm and, assertive,
Yes.
and just like not giving, because when you come home, the first thing you want to do is, oh my God, Ruben, oh my God. But like, that's horrible for a dog.
It's gonna encourage him to jump on me.
And not only that, but it creates separation anxiety,
Correct.
All the things. And it's like, when you come in, like I've always tried to tell, I want to put a big plaque on my door that says, we have dogs, no talk, no touch, no eye contact. Those are like Caesar's top 3 rules.
Yep.
When you go into a place where there's dogs, don't look at them, don't touch them, don't talk to them. Wait, because they're always like, but if you come in and then they go immediately and lay down, or you don't even know they're there because they're already on their bed, they didn't get up, then when they do come around, then pet them, but when the dog is calm, and it's just like, it's a simple thing. And it's weird how like you can correlate like dealing with human beings and dealing with dogs, a lot similarly.
Right. And then some individuals don't view dogs as autonomous beings that, even though they don't speak the same language and look like us and they have fur and we don't, like they still are living an experience and making choices that are in line with their genetic predisposition and their drive. And just 2 days ago, I volunteered at the Humane Society.
Oh, nice.
It's my favorite. I go and walk them. It's such a service to the community. Like, please, like these dogs need to be walked.
It's a service to yourself.
It is a service to myself. And that's the best types of services to community. But that is one of the things that they will go through with the introduction, is that don't get hyped up, don't get all up in their face, and it seems like common sense.
Yeah.
But then we realize that as a society, pets are still our thing. These not our things, but we still own them.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little aspect of, like, it is a thing to some people.
Mm-hmm.
So training,
It's
the
important.
training subject, it's important, but it's more difficult to those who are more emotionally attached to their animals, I believe.
Yeah.
I
I don't want to make him do anything.
That is why
They need it.
I have someone else do it.
Yeah,
That's big bucks, I know, but like when I got the dog, I was like, what's one thing that's super important to me? It's like having him be trained, and while I do have the education and the experience in doing so, I didn't have the time.
right.
And I did have that oh my God, he's so cute. But like when he is 120 pounds, like, he cannot behave
He's not
this
a
way.
lap dog. Well, I think the problem with most dogs is not just the dog; it's also the owner. You know, like, and a lot of people don't want to think about that part, but most really good dog trainers will, yeah, we'll take your dog, but you're going to spend 2 weeks with us.
You have to be part. You have to be part of it, or else
Right.
if you're,
It's all for nothing.
your dog knows how to listen to the trainer. Cool. I don't know how to listen to you. Yeah. There was a portion in this was many years ago, a portion of the training where you're hands on, you're doing it, and then you pass it over to the coach.
Right.
I called him the coach, and then back to us. So it was definitely a mutual thing, and it takes a lot, but the payoff is wonderful when you have the
100%.
dog that isn't jumping on people or getting overly excited in public. Or my pet peeve is the accidents in the house. Like when you're older, when you're a geriatric dog, that's when you get the pass for that. But
Yeah,
before
and they make
that,
doggy diapers.
correct. Oh, when my dog's getting older, I don't know how.
I
I don't know when that's going to become a thing. But
My little road dog, my man, he was with us for how long? 17, 19 years.
wow.
My little Yorkie, Bear. He's passed, and but before we had to diaper him up.
I mean, I'm like over here now. Obviously, the larger the dog, the shorter the lifespan.
Sure.
But I'm over here like 8. I wonder how many like more years I have with mine. 19.
Yeah, he was. That was my homie. I mean, like I got him when I got divorced, and I didn't get him in the divorce, but I did.
Yeah.
Like a couple of years later, I got him, and it was like ever since then he was with me, and it was just like you could take that dog anywhere, and he was so chill. He didn't care. He like fireworks didn't faze him. None of that shit fazed him.
Now I'm so grateful that Ruben has always had my last name. I'm like, I never thought about him going to any of my exes. Like, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I trust me. I would have had both of my dogs immediately, but I didn't have anywhere to go. But, God.
And look at you now.
Yeah,
Just taking a moment for you. I mean,
Yeah.
with all my heart is that look at you now.
Yeah. I mean,
And
it's crazy
smiling.
when you come from. I mean, you come from one thing and then you go to nothing, and then you go and then you build it back up. So I'm in that. I'm still in that. I mean, I've been in this house 10 years, and I'm still building myself back up.
And in a sense, you always will be, because we're
Yeah.
always evolving. If I ever reach a point where I'm stagnant and I'm looking around, and you best believe I'm asking that's when I say what's next, and
Right.
not patience and grace. Then once I get bored and stagnant, that's when the question of what's next comes. But interesting. Next episode is gonna be fighting burnout.
Fighting burnout.
I read somewhere that if you have reached a point of emotional exhaustion, burnout, that it takes 2 years to recover.
Oh, yeah?
And I want to, I don't quote me. I want to read more on it, find the article, but I'm curious on what is the definition of healing in that aspect for, to heal from burnout. And then is that 2 years of doing nothing? Is that 2 years of doing what you normally do but at a lesser capacity?
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of people don't realize until it's too late that they are experiencing the burnout.
Yes.
I think,
absolutely.
in my experience, like I'm a worker bee. I just am,
Yep.
like doing all of this and doing like the photography stuff has been eye-opening and to helping me realize that like I'm burning myself out with the job.
Yep.
And I need things like outlets. I need things to better myself, to take my mind off of that shit, and for a while it was like alcohol, and I'm now, I've forgotten, I'm at least 10 years, sober, but, it's huge for
think
me,
I'm
but
3.
good for you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. It's not easy. It's really not, because
Not if you're addicted to alcohol, and it sure ain't easy.
And you don't realize, like a lot, and this is where like the denial comes in. You don't know that you're addicted. You don't realize you're addicted. You're just like, I drink a handle every day. It's no big deal.
What's also when it's so socially acceptable. Every date, what do? We go out and have a beer.
Have a few
after a rough day at work, what do? We go sling back a couple beers. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. What are we doing? We're going to the nightclub. We're doing shots. Like, alcohol is a large portion of our everyday society's culture. Vacation culture. I mean, I have a friend who went to Turks and Caicos, and she doesn't drink either. And we had a long conversation before, just being of support for each other. Just like, what is that going to look like for you?
Yeah.
What are you going to say to the waitress? Hey, I want that pretty drink. No alcohol, please. Just little things like that just like we said before, with practice, they become easier. But it's when one day you're drinking alcohol and then the next day you are not, it's an entirely different world.
Yeah.
And now, as I'm sure you can probably relate, I cannot imagine, even in the darkest of darkest holes, of whatever anybody could possibly do to me, that could make me open
Really?
I can't. Don't get me wrong, everyone is walking paradox, conspiracy, or not conspiracy, contradiction. I've had moments. I've definitely had moments, very recently I've had my heart broken, my trust betrayed. And there have been moments where I was like, well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go have a drink.
Yeah.
But reason takes over after a while. Now, we were talking about refractory periods before. My refractory period now is enough time for that second thought to enter my brain, a couple seconds. But in that first year of sobriety, that refractory period was sometimes like me driving to the liquor store and sitting in the parking lot and not getting out. Sometimes it was me getting out and walking around. Like, sometimes I would actually like pick out what I wanted. It all comes in different points, and healing is not linear.
No.
Healing is not linear. But to elaborate on my prior statement is that I cannot imagine a world where I give in to that feeling. There is, in every situation, I rise above it. I think, and it's difficult. Well, if there's anyone listening who's struggling with that, it is not easy, and it does not discriminate.
Yeah.
It does not discriminate income, color of our skin.
Nope.
Nothing.
No. And I mean, and it's not just alcohol. I mean, although that is the most prevalent because it's legal. But anytime you use any substance or anything as a, like, oh, I've had a rough day, I want to do this, you have to kind of like really look at it and go, okay, that's cool, but like, is this good for me? Like, if you had a bad day and your thing is, I'm going to go work out or I'm going to go for a run.
That's intentional.
That's intentional, and it's healthy for you. It's good for you. But like, is this thing killing me slowly? Is this like eating my, insides apart? I mean, is it causing, you put that down. Listen, I drink. We all do drugs. Everybody does drugs.
Oh.
If you take aspirin, you're a fucking drug addict. I mean.
Listen, I will always say it this way, is that we all have our vice, and whether that vice be a energy drink or a cup of coffee, and I will not sit here and say that my vice is any better or worse,
right? Because
every individual determines what their good, their bad, and their in between is. I'm just grateful that I was able to separate from my vices that were damaging to my body and my mental.
It's literally poison.
Correct.
And we're okay with it. It's like poison everyone's okay with.
Right.
It's like you're gonna. Why do I feel this way? Well, because you're poisoning yourself. You're literally killing you. You know?
I don't know. I saw your story at 2:33 a.m. and you guys had a tray of lemon drops. Like
right. And if you're okay with waking up feeling like shit, and this is like my biggest problem with people and wellness in general, overall, mind or body. You hear people complaining all the time. I hate my job. I fucking got to get up and go to work. And my body hurts. Everything hurts. Well, okay, well, let's look at what you're putting in there.
Root cause.
Exactly. What are you putting in there? Are you sleeping enough? Like, there's a lot of factors involved before you can sit there and piss and moan about like what's going on in your body and in your life and then why you're so messed up in the head. And maybe let's look at like
Break the cycle.
break
How
the
am
fucking
I going to
cycle.
step out of this? For some people, like, oh, take a cold shower, dude. Read a book. Go outside.
Try something
Touch
different.
grass.
Yeah.
Something. Anything.
That I believe in. I mean, it sounds funny, and it became buzzwords, and like for a minute, touch grass.
I'd get it tattooed today if we had a tattoo
Yeah.
artist. I'm serious.
Well, there's
serious.
something actually physical to it, like actual,
Yes.
like grounding yourself.
Grounding, yeah.
Like most of the dwellings we live in, and like our shoes, none of this shit. We're like not grounded anymore. Like
We're
prehistoric or-
separated
yeah.
from the electric charge or whatever.
Whatever.
That's coming from the earth.
Mhm. There's like some kind of magnetic or electric charge. Yes, dear.
Did you know that we do that after like surgeries and procedures? We roll them, like we let them sit outside in the sun, and after, like if they're
That's
staying long
beautiful.
time, like they're not going home outpatient. They
Interesting.
do that.
I did not know
We'll
that
go
you
on
did
walks
that.
around the hospital, and you'll see people outside in the sun.
Because we get stuck in our head, right? So like for me, that's why I keep a dog. I gotta walk him 3 times a day minimum. He's got to stay stimulated, and I got to get my exercise.
Yeah.
So whatever gets it done, and of course, absolutely, fresh air, sunlight.
Yeah, it's all about the choices you make. I mean, and taking responsibility for your own actions and own choices, those are all huge as well, and that's hard to do.
And balance, right? It's like absolutely. I have friends that have impeccable balance who have a more muscular physique than me, that eat better than me, and they have the occasional beverage on a night out.
Right.
Does that mean that I'm judging them or I'm calling them names? Absolutely not. It's all about balance, and each person determines what their balance is. But I think that the underlying issue is how acceptable it is just to absolutely exceed those limits of moderation.
Mm-hmm.
There's CEOs that have 2 glasses of wine in business meetings. It's socially acceptable, and like, okay, there's a reason why they don't have 7.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's everyone's moderation is different. My moderation is 0.
Yeah. Well, I know that I can't do 1 or 2, because 1 or 2 leads to 3 or 4, then leads to an
Correct.
entire bottle, then leads to I blacked out and don't know how I got where I'm at.
Well, I'm really proud of you for recognizing that in
That was
yourself. And then facing it, like,
Yeah, not everybody can. That was the thing I was trying to say, is like not everybody understands, like, oh, this is a fucking problem. But I had, something that was like worth me sticking around,
That's
and
beautiful.
I almost died on the way to work one day because I drank myself to sleep every night. And when you do that, you don't sleep real good. And then you wake up, you're still drunk. And I was going to work and, and it just almost had a pretty bad accident. And luckily no one was on the road, that
our
would've-
stories are so similar.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not to interrupt you. I don't
No,
know if you
please
know
interrupt.
this about me. Not everybody does, but many years ago, I was 21 years
Mm-hmm.
old, and I got into an accident in driving by myself.
Mhm.
I forget what I blew. I wish I knew. Just for the sake of conversation, but one of my coworker at the time, their friend was an EMT responder, and they said that when they showed up, that I had, you can hardly see the skin on my neck from the seatbelt saving me. And when they were asking me, like, how much have you had to drink? My responses were, how much have you had to drink? Where are you headed to? Well, where are you headed to? So I completely understand too. And like, I tell that story and I like look at my own hands. I'm like, that's not you. And I'm like,
Yeah.
it was me. It can turn someone who is completely responsible overall into making decisions that do not align with their higher character. That's why I'll stand behind saying that it's poison. I don't judge you if
Never.
that's your version of poison. We all have our
Yeah.
own version. Cheers.
Cheers.
No judgment, but that's just not. It's not my pick of poison.
No, I mean, like she drinks, Alana drinks. I have friends that drink, and it's like, it's so funny watching them, like I was with someone last night and just like, let's go to the, wanted to go to the liquor store, and like, and walked around and like picked out all the things that, she
It's like
wanted.
a foreign world.
It was just, I don't know, but I was just watching. I'm like, okay. And then I'm like, do you need all of this? Like, what? Oh, this is for later. Now I'm stocked up for a while. I'm like, okay, cool. But I'm not judging.
Correct.
It's just interesting because even when I did drink, I was real easy. I was like the dude version of an alcoholic, whatever. I mean, it was Jameson or nothing. I didn't want beer. I didn't want.
You were loyal.
Yeah, I mean, I just knew what I liked, and I knew the kind of buzz I wanted, But yeah, no, I just, it's always interesting to me to see the mentality behind it, but also it's weird because you're like, you're doing to yourself, or maybe you do, but you just don't care.
And also, like, just kind of flipping it around. It's like, how much of that is perception? Like, okay, Kaitlyn, just because when you were 21, you got so drunk and you crashed your car, that doesn't mean that everyone can and that part is true. That's where I can turn around and be like, well, all right, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe some people can handle it a little better, or maybe have less. Maybe they know their limit.
Right.
Just interesting. I always try to think of things from the opposite. If there was someone in the room who disagreed or was on the opposite side of the spectrum, and I find it funny because, not funny, interesting.
Yeah. I knew what you meant.
Because, for example, prescription medication for mental health.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can't tell you a lot of people I know are on Prozac, Zoloft, whatever it is. And someone might look at me and say, "Oh, you go to the pharmacy and get such and such. You're not sober." Okay. Well, sober by your standards. Cool. That's great. Everyone's view is different.
Mm-hmm.
There's people, especially in the wellness community, who can be anti-prescription.
Mm-hmm.
I find that to be a little bit extreme. I think that there's a middle ground for everything.
Right.
But everyone's sober is different, and everyone's moderation is different. And that's why we hang around people who match ours, and people that we vibe with and click with, and people who do too much or too little of the thing that whatever is on the table, then we stay away from those.
It's weird that I think everybody in this house drinks except me, except for Alana's daughter. She doesn't. She's too young.
The child.
The child. Is that Grogu?
That's what I thought.
No, but and I have friends I hang around all the time, that are like drinking constantly, and I'm like, am I testing myself? Because
Yes.
I mean, on a subconscious level, I think I am, because I can be out, and I don't grab for a drink or be like, I just get water, but it was, there are weak moments, and there are times when I'm like, I've even thought about it. I'm like, I could probably have a drink and be fine.
I've thought that myself.
And I'm like, but why? What's the point? And then I start seeing people when they wake up and they're like, oh,
for me,
like
it's
shit.
when I see them there in person. So when I start seeing people slur their words, or maybe say things they wouldn't normally say when they were sober, or get loud. In some situations, people can be embarrassing. When I see that start to go down, that's when I'm like, oh, guys, it's time for bed. Ruben needs to be let out.
Yep.
I gotta go.
Love that. You have a little out.
Yeah, Ruben's my out. Ruben is my out, but in the same aspect, I also have no issue with a good old Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
I love a good old I feel that the Irish goodbye should be acceptable in almost all situations.
100%.
If it's a wedding, you Irish goodbye. You do not say goodbye to the bride and groom. You leave. Get out of there. I think everything should be like a wedding.
Yeah. Well, at some point, if you're at a function where everybody's drinking, they're going to be so drunk they won't even notice you're gone.
Correct.
Yeah. So, but, talking about medications and stuff like that, there are people that do absolutely need medication. And then there's cases where I believe that people are given medication when maybe they could just work out or do something, do something physical. Because I think we as people, just like you said, Ruben needs to get that energy out. I think that we have become so locked into our homes, locked into our phones, locked into a television, locked into social media or whatever, that it's very damning to our mental status.
Absolutely.
And I think that a lot of times, if people would just do an activity, just try it. Before you get on an SSRI, maybe just try it. If it doesn't work, then go do what you got to do.
Exactly.
But when the side effects cause worse depression and suicidal thoughts, than you've ever had, like, that freaks me the fuck out.
It's like the teeter-totter, right? You're balancing what you're experiencing now versus what you could possibly experience.
Right.
Are you going to experience that? It's so convoluted and messy.
Yeah, and it's hard to believe, and well, not just believe, but like, it's hard to trust the medical professionals, because on one side of the fence you have people that are like, you have to have this medication, and then there are actual, and I've seen them, doctors that are like saying that working out and getting your body healthy and doing activities is better for you. Because all it is, the medication, basically what they're saying is that the medication is replacing like certain chemicals that your body's not making properly. But doing the activities will fill you up with those same, like, serotonin, whatever, all those things, and it gives you the same release. Now, you can't do both together, or you can. I mean, it depends on your dosage, but I mean, you don't want to get too much and overload of that stuff. But just like anything, like if you take melatonin to sleep at night, your body's going to stop producing melatonin.
Correct.
Or it's not going to produce it properly.
Right. So what I'm hearing basically is, before we're trying the extremes in any situation, right? Before we're trying the extremes, well, we try the little things first.
Right. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. Now, if we're in a mental health crisis or something, that's a completely different story. But I think, going back to the whole touch grass comment is like, but lay outside and meditate, maybe read a little bit, talk to your friends about how you're feeling. And then if we need if we still need to feel like we need a supplement, then all the power to it. But I do see that sometimes people can be quick to relying on a medication rather than digging in or trying holistic practices first. Everyone's path is going to be a little bit different. Mine's a combo, so I'm just like, I work out, I take good care of myself, but definitely still I'm also going to therapy and taking good care of my health with the addition of medication. So, well,
like you said, it's a supplement. We don't get enough vitamins and minerals in our life, so we have to take all these vitamins and stuff, and for sure people aren't getting enough vitamin D.
Correct.
I think there was a census or something like that was done in hospitals where they said that the majority, like almost 90 or 80 to 90% of the people were vitamin D deficient. It might have been during COVID that report came out, but I read that.
It impacts the mood, everything.
Yeah,
so, I mean, regardless of how accurate that number was at the time versus now, I think it's important to look at.
Sure. We all need a supplement. If your body is just not, no matter what you do, but for sure, like what you said, like, turn internally. This is why the plant medicine that I use. I don't smoke marijuana. I don't do that for my job if they're watching.
I love that. Disclaimer.
Well, my boss was like, I heard you do a podcast. I was like, nope, that's not me. It's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. No, but like, it's like once or twice, maybe 3 times a year. And it's literally like, I go internal. If like I said in the beginning, it's like putting whatever that rabid animal in your brain is that's driving you mad. It's like you go into a room and you get locked in with them and you have to figure shit out, and it's so good. And you go, oh, I know what you are. I know what you are. You're this thing. And when
you name it, it's impossible to be 100% afraid of something that you can name.
Right.
That's why my therapist, shout out, would be like, the first step to when you're experiencing anything, just name the emotion. And then if you're familiar with like the emotion wheel, like that emotion has a core emotion until you get down to those core 6 emotions. What's that cute little movie? Disney movie.
Is it Inside
Out?
Inside Out.
Love it. So cute with the little marbles and the emotions.
It gets a little dark. But yeah, no, it's real
Yeah,
though.
they all do. They all do. They all get a little dark. Those movies. I don't. I try to stay out of the feels.
Yeah, but that one I watched it and I was like, everyone needs to watch this movie.
Correct.
Like everyone. It's not just that's not just a kid movie. That's for sure a movie that like adults could watch and learn something about themselves.
Right. Emotional awareness.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, we are so closed off from it, and I think it's because, again, I'm not against technology, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously we're here. I love technology, but I think, and we're on social media, we're on the internet, but I am trying my hardest every single day to get my usage down.
Yes, absolutely.
With this, like I'm horrible. I'm horrible. Like I don't even I'm very spotty at best with like cutting clips and posting them and all that stuff. And it's just like, it's like, well, this is my priority.
Yes.
That's not my priority. I need a person for that because I'm not doing it. And when I get on there and post and upload, I try to get off. But that they're really, really fucking good.
They're good at it.
What was there was a movie or like a documentary. I cannot. It was. I was talking about it a lot for a while.
Was it on Netflix?
I think it was. I can't remember what. I think it's something.
I can see it.
It was basically when it was It was the person who created it had used to work for and helped create Facebook.
Yes, I do. And if I'm not mistaken, in this documentary, they're like masked.
Something Dilemma.
Am I right?
I don't remember if they're masked.
Okay.
There's a lot of actors, like big time actors.
Dilemma is in the
Social Dilemma.
Yes.
Yes. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's really eye opening, but it's funny that they put that out. I watched it, and then we still do the same shit. They've gotten so good at whatever it is that draws us into this screen, whether it's the phone company, the Apple or Droid that does it, or the apps themselves, with the constant ding, you got a message. It's just like an alert. Like
what happens
Yeah.
when that goes off?
Mm-hmm.
Dopamine.
Yeah, 100%.
Or serotonin. One of them drops, a little bit of nugget drops, and you get a little happy for a second. Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. And it's so funny to look at it throughout my whole lifetime. I think I got my first cell phone when I was 11 or 12. And then before then, there, of course, I had a Game Boy 2. We had what was probably the PlayStation, the Wii, all of that. So it's just constantly.
I think those types of things, like what you're like the Game Boy, and they're not.
They're interactive, at least engaging.
Well, when you're engaging with it, it's not like sitting there dinging and you go, "Oh, I need to hit that Game Boy." No, It's just like you could put it down and not touch it for 2 weeks.
I think the difference is that the Game Boy and the PlayStation, it didn't connect to the outside world. These are the games that are on it. You put in a new CD, and then there's a CD. Wow. Okay. Now you got some new games on it.
Right.
But now we're connected to the world and all of the apps that we have. See me, I got my notifications for the most part. I got like 1 or 2, but like turned off. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't want to know.
I'm
doing something. I'm doing something, and when I want to know, I will have enough time to check my phone. I'll make the time to check my phone. I know that.
Right.
Like I know myself well enough.
When you have the time, you check it and then get off. I mean, it's you have to be like super conscious and aware of that because I have lost time.
When it's you relate to this, I imagine. It's when it's your work, right? So for me, whether it's marketing coordinator where I am literally scanning through emails, and of course I have to have a laptop in front of me to do that, or it's I am marketing for my business where I am not only the fire dancer, but I am the business owner, I am the CEO, I'm the content creator, the website developer, I am the one who's answering all of the questions. That's exhausting.
It is exhausting.
It's absolutely exhausting that there are naturally things that are going to take precedence. For me, it's like I come together every 2 weeks and I'm like, all right, what haven't you uploaded? What haven't you posted? If you're behind there, let's catch up. But just maybe simply planning just like catch up days, because it's so much to manage. And the goal, of course, is to get big and have things delegated. But it takes time. It takes time and effort.
Yeah, and it's mentally exhausting, which is why I don't know. Like I said, I definitely I think I need somebody that will do that for me because I don't have it within me. I don't.
Yeah.
I just don't because I know what happens. I get on there, I get to doing things, and I upload things, but I've actually been really good about like when I do upload, I literally just hit the upload button and just close it and turn it off. And I keep the shit on silent. I have
Yes.
all the Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that stuff. It's all in a file folder on the back page, and I put it in
So
a
you
folder
have to
labeled
effort to
trash. 'Cause
just
it's
to
fucking
remind you
garbage.
when you're going in there.
Yeah, you're about to get involved in some trash because it's a lot of that.
Honestly, yes, the more anything that we can do to be more in the present, let's do it. But also, it's our job.
Yeah, and I mean there are some good things that have come from it. I'm not completely downing the. I don't know if you do you know the whole Dalton Sacco thing? Have you kept up with that?
No,
Do you know what I'm talking about at all? The guy
No.
with the beard and
Yeah.
they're an interracial couple.
no.
Okay, so there's a huge thing going around right now, and I have been drawn
tea?
into it.
T.
Yeah,
And it's
so
all rumors.
they got real big on TikTok being an interracial couple, and they got a lot of hate and a lot of love, but they just exploded overnight. Their success, and then they so much so that they were able to afford through YouTube and TikTok and Facebook and Instagram they got paid from all of that. So that was basically their income, and they got like a big, huge house with a big piece of land. And then all of a sudden, they did this thing where they were like, and now I'm talking about them here on the podcast, but she just was
I'm
stopped.
sure it's not the only podcast there.
Oh no, she stopped being in his videos with him. They were always in the videos together, and it was Dalton and Sacco. But she stopped being in the videos with him, and people started assuming things. And then he put out this video where he was just absolutely bawling out of control, literally having a real meltdown emotion moment, and filmed it and then uploaded it, and he just left it for people to speculate. Well, like his mom has cancer. I think it was cancer, right? Yeah, and she's going through surgeries and chemotherapy. And we found out after the fact, all this stuff that they were doing was completely organized and planned. But for a good reason. And he made I think they're up to like 80,000 right now from all of the revenue they brought in just from the hype of that one video and then all the subsequent videos after that. And it's paying for his mom's chemo and all that.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think it's good. I'm like, cool, make your paper, boo-boo. You figured out how to work the system.
When we log online, we have to accept to a certain degree that what we're watching is fabricated, if not entirely made up. I use myself as an example. I take a video advertising that I'm going to be on your podcast. It's, hey friends, like when I walk into a room, do you think that I say, oh, hey friends? Like
No.
there's a certain aspect of
You show people what you want them to see.
exactly. When you're advertising something, you got to match energies.
Yeah.
That comparison is interesting to my brain now. Cracked my own brain.
We've got some commenters.
Oh, we do.
Tristan says, my Bumbleclot family. We have a Brandon Maskell saying, what's up, girly? So glad to see you on here. Nintendo DS was the shit, though.
Yes.
From Kava and Co patio.
Oh, I've seen you on the Kava. Yep. We love Kava and Co. We love Kava and Co. I love actually all the Kava bars in Jacksonville.
What is that?
What's Kava?
Like
what's Kava and Co?
Yeah.
Kava and Company if I'm not mistaken, their original location is San Marco.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 now. There's San Marco, Mandarin, and they just opened one up on the beach.
I've seen the name. I've just never, it's not like a place that I would think to go.
It's wonderful. Sober. It's like a sober bar. So they offer
Nice.
Kava, Kratom. I think they have Kana, if I'm not mistaken.
Shit.
Just a lot of herbal.
That kratom that's drugs.
Oh, yeah. It's heavy.
Taken in the right doses.
heavy.
That will fuck you up.
But it's awesome. They have open mic nights. They have pool tournaments. Just like bingo, fun things like that. It's become quite a popular hangout.
Interesting.
Yeah, a great place for I call it a semi-sober community because, we're still using plant medicine, whether it's in the form of kava or kratom or kanna. So it's nice. They often have yoga events as well.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, that's great. Maybe I'll have to reach out to those guys.
Yeah.
But what the hell? I'm glad that we have been calling it plant medicine because I honestly do. I get frustrated when people just throw it into the category of drugs. Drugs such a shit name on it, you know, like
word.
It's pretty bad. And when you start, I mean, there's just been this mentality my whole life. You know, I've been told by older people that are my elders and all that like drugs will make you stupid and worthless and lazy. And I'm like, no, they've actually made me more productive.
Right. And if we're gonna be grouping things together, then okay, then drugs.
Yeah, sugar.
Let's do it all. Let's just do it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and again, not to harp on the electronics, but I think it's mostly the phone because it's handheld. You carry it with you everywhere you go. But this is like one of the most toxic drugs that we have. Oh.
1,000%. I saw a advertisement scrolling through Instagram that for an advertisement for an app that keeps track of how long you have gone without opening your phone. It's like, congratulations, the longest you've ever went was 3 hours, blah, blah. And I'm like, honestly, like besides sleep or like dedicating myself to like a volunteer activity, even then I would take pictures of doing that. Like 3-4 hours seems like a little bit of a long time during the waking hours. And even saying that out loud, I realize that's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Yeah, we only get 24 in a day, in a cycle.
Correct.
What does he mean? Can she explain what those are for? The kratom and stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So kava and kratom have been used for a long time. I don't want to act like a guru on anything, but just as people will supplement instead of alcohol. Kratom is, I don't partake in kratom. I like kava, so I know a little bit more about kava, and that's a Polynesian root that's known to relax and ground. But there's no like mind altering effects on that. Very much like we were saying, matcha is like grass water. Kava is very much like dirt water. So people will make.
I used to eat dirt.
Yeah, we love. I mean, we all did. They make it into like mocktails, and it's getting to be quite popular.
Yeah.
There's a newer kava bar called Eternal Roots. I like that one as well. But it's nice to see. Let's go.
I know. I might have
We're
to
going.
give it a shot.
It's great. It's nice to have a social bar like atmosphere, but without the alcohol and more natural lighting. It was like, it's exactly what I've always wanted throughout these past few years. But when I was living up in Pennsylvania, I didn't have kava bars up there. Or
right.
We had one stoplight in our city and one gas station. Honey, there was no.
There was the community was.
We didn't
right
have
over there.
We didn't have a Pilates studio or yoga in our city. It was,
Interesting. Now, in the kratom, I know a little bit. I don't know a lot. I've used it one time, but she was using it, and it does have given different doses or different whatever you want to call it, milligrams or whatever, have different effects. Like I think it's like a little bit, and it helps with pain management. And then if you take a lot, it's like very calming as well. I can't remember exactly how it might be have it backwards. But.
No, I think that you might be right. And there's also strain. So like there's like yellow, green. Yep. So strain helps with pain and anxiety. Green gives you a happy, fun vibe. Yeah. So when you go into these kava bars, it's educational as well because they'll have
Thank you, Brandon.
all of the colors. Yeah, that's a homie right there.
Yeah.
Homie right there. He knows his ish.
He came through.
He always does. He always does. I love him.
Yeah. Well, she told me a little bit about it because she was taking it for a while. But, I mean, it's crazy right now that that slipped under the radar, I guess, and as far as like the drugs or whatever, because it came in after the back in the 70s, they had the sweeping psychedelic act where they got rid of everything and they put it all under like Schedule 1. And it's like, what?
I wish I even understood like the legislative aspect of it, because I know that there were some concerns with legislation in Kratom, and I don't know where it landed.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we still have it.
It had, well, I know that like most places took it off their shelves and during this because they're in the middle of doing
correct.
There's like a case right now,
so it's not fine. Nothing's finalized.
Nothing's finalized yet. So these places that it's like their livelihood, it's like, what are we about to do? Like this has been very beneficial for our people, our clients and our guests and, customers that come in here and they utilize this stuff. And it's not, I don't think it's habit forming. I don't think it's addiction forming.
I don't know much about Kratom specifically, but
right.
I do know just based from being on the environments that it has been extremely helpful to recovering stimulant addicts. It has a much more stimulant type vibe, where when I think in my brain is that, Kratom is up and kava is relaxation. So knowing that it served so many of my close loved ones to get out of addiction and then to see it be threatened. Meanwhile, bars are still serving up alcohol.
Sure.
Very, very stringent, not stringent, the opposite of stringent, loose, lenient examples or guidelines of how much is too much.
He's hitting us with some facts here.
Yes. So Kratom reacts to your opioid receptors the same. So a lot of people are nervous when they hear that.
Right.
There's so much ish that has to do with labels and making things not kid friendly and all that. Oh yeah, absolutely. Not kid friendly. None of the stuff we're talking about is kid friendly.
Anytime, well, any substance, no matter what, whether it's plant medicine or anything, I think that there needs to children, your frontal lobe is not fully developed until you're around 21 years old.
Correct.
Which is, I think, why they put the drinking age is 21.
Yes,
but
it is.
The problem is all this stuff that they're making illegal. Well, now you get it on the street. Now you're propping up cartels. Now the kids are going to get it no matter what. But if you made it legal and regulated it, like cigarettes and like tobacco or like alcohol, there's a place to go.
Do you know what my taxes? Yeah, like this.
Right. Like you look at Colorado with weed. When they legalized weed, they made so much money on taxes. They had to like give some back or something. But
I think that you should have Brandon on here.
Brandon.
Kratom one day.
Maybe we will, brother.
He's a fellow sober brother. We connected over that. Yeah,
that's dope.
It's not an easy thing to get out of. And whenever I hear someone's sobriety story, and just like I know the depths. I know it. And he makes a good point. He's like not making it appealing to children.
Right.
Similarly to the whole nicotine and vapes and the flavors. It's like, okay, at what point are we actually advertising to children, but not saying for children?
Right.
So I didn't even.
That's crazy. Yeah,
it's gonna rack my brain now. I didn't even think about that when I purchase in Kratom and kava bars. I think they do a pretty good job in that. Now that I'm like conscious of the marketing and the logos and all of that, it all is pretty adult. And by adult I mean polished.
Yeah.
Not covered in cartoons or funky colors.
Which when I was a kid. And I started smoking cigarettes when I was 12, maybe younger. And as I got older, before I was legal to buy them, I was like smoking Camels, Camel cigarettes, Camel filters. Well, they didn't have that, but back then it was like Camel filterless, Camel filters, and then you had then the wides came out, and I was like, ooh, those are cool. But I was smoking those, and I was collecting them Camel bucks, but it wasn't even wasn't the reason. They were just there, And then when they got rid of Joe Camel, the cartoon or the mascot, they're like, well, that appeals to children. And I'm like, I never once bought Camel cigarettes because there was a fucking camel on the front of it.
Yeah.
Or that they had a mascot. Ever. Because Marlboro had the same where you could get points from the little thing on the package. And I'm just like, I don't know. I get glorifying things that may be bad for children or younger people.
Yeah.
but like they're going to get that shit regardless.
And that's why I personally am happy that I'm not in a seat where I'm making the decision of what is childish and what is not, because that was a perfect example of where like, I'm glad it's not me. I'm glad it's not me, because with everything, with when we're saying that this is acceptable and this is not acceptable, there's all this in between.
Yeah.
It's going to be different perception for every person.
I mean, prohibition is not good for anything. We need it to be legal. We need it to be open so that people can. It's so restrained being in like all this stuff being in Schedule 1. Like scientists aren't even allowed to like study it and work with it and do experiments and actually do the work to understand this stuff. You know, they just opened up. I think it was psilocybin. I'm not 100% sure. It might have been MDMA, but they just signed. Love him or hate him, but Trump signed it into law so it's not Schedule 1 anymore. So now there's a organization called MAPS.
Okay.
And they work with psychedelics and helping like PTSD, like veterans with PTSD, and they use like psilocybin, and they use MDMA to treat them with these things. But now that they're okay to do that, they can actually go forward and really research this stuff and come back with real answers. Like, is this harmful? Is there actual medicinal purposes to this stuff?
And that's why asking those questions is so important. Like you're educating me on something that I know very little about, and you know, if I'm hearing that people are benefiting from something, and the research is being done to support that it's being done ethically.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to learning about that more.
I do too. And I look forward to us opening and expanding our minds. Like, you guys, come on. We're not doing this old man bullshit anymore where it's like, you know, reefer madness. They literally, those propaganda they put out, Reefer Madness, that movie. There's a movie called that. I don't know if you've ever watched it. It's fucking ridiculous. It's actually like the most hilarious thing now, but it's just like, it's going to make you this. It's going to make you that. Come on, man, get off of it. Let's just let people you can't tell me what I can and can't put into my body. You know, that should never be a thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, the minute you start telling people what they can't put inside their body, they're going to go fucking put that thing in there.
Yeah,
you know?
like you don't want to go, you don't want to go play with that yellow ball. The little kid's going to be like, oh, yeah, where's the yellow ball?
I absolutely want the yellow ball now.
God.
But yeah, I mean, if you regulate, you know, I don't like a lot of regulations. I don't like people really. I'm horrible with authority, but like I definitely think that legalize things, put regulations, put centers in place to where people can go there and safely do these things. You know, even fucking heroin centers. Whatever. Who knows? You know, there's a doctor out there. He's Dr. Carl Hart, I believe his name is, and he's still a fully practicing, I don't know if he's a psychologist, what his doctorate's in, but he openly takes all types of drugs.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, all types. And he's like, I mean, you know, I take them, and I won't take them. I take them, I won't take them. I go through withdrawals. He's like, withdrawal is like a fever. It's like having a fever. And then I'm done. You know, for a weekend, I'm a little but he doesn't do it enough to where he has withdrawals. You know, apparently.
Perspectives are crazy.
We're going to find out.
Perspectives crazy.
Yeah, we're going to find out. Maybe he's going to end up being just a junkie somewhere. But so far, he's been very successful in his career. You know.
I will have to research that. That is so. I'm walking away with this with like I'm gonna have so many things to research about, because I can be so disconnected from. So yeah, that's what happens. I become so disconnected and tunnel visioned. I think a little bit.
Thank you, Brandon. We'll definitely hit you back.
Brandon. Oh, that's my. I'll drink my kava and he'll drink his kratom.
I definitely need someone to set me straight on certain things, you know. And I mean, you've set me straight on a lot of things. Not set me straight really, but you've explained a lot of things.
Expand the thought process.
Yes,
right?
I love to learn, but this is the best way for me to learn. I don't want to read a book.
Talk it out, right? And I think that when we're sitting here and we come to the conclusion of like, oh, I actually don't know like what my opinion is on that yet, or that's a topic that I haven't gotten a lot of information on. I think that's where the discoveries really happen. You know, we watch podcasts all the time where it's very fact driven and less conversational. And it's like,
Yeah.
great, cool. I could have summarized that in like a little graphic, you know, but it's the conversation what gets us from point A to point B and seeing the different perspectives. That's really, really beautiful.
Yeah, I bet it will. No, I definitely, you know, don't take anything I say as fact. These are things I could have read on an AI Google search.
Correct.
And who knows if that's right.
And to err is to human.
Yes,
so,
to err.
like things. Lots of that on my way over here. We love when people cannot drive in the rain in Jacksonville. I'm like hearing the thunder. I'm like, wonder what's on the agenda for the rest of the day. Rain.
Hopefully everybody's sitting at their house by now, and you can have a nice smooth ride home.
Ooh, I hope. I'm sorry. You know which street I have to drive down. You know I'm not having a smooth ride home. But the difference,
The face you
the community is saying, I hate this part of town and it's so much traffic, but I love you. Not, what can he do for me now?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, we make sacrifices for the things that we love to do, for the people that we love to see. And a long drive can be beautiful with the right soundtrack, right?
Amen. Well, listen, I want to start whining. Well, as Mike Rose says, well, this is a good place to land the plane.
I love it. I love that. I love that.
But I would love for you to give, whether it's just, you know, whatever, you know, just a closing blurb, whether it's, you know, a warning about this or some uplifting, you know, or just for sure talk about what you're, you know, how to get in touch with you, how to, all of your handles, all that. For sure, do put that out there.
Absolutely.
But, you know, if you don't mind just leaving with some closing comments.
Absolutely. I think that we talked about a lot of things today, and what I have to say as a closing is an all-encompassing of them, but also something a little bit new and different. And that is, if you are someone who is going through a tough time, that is a separation from a partner, a friendship breakup, finding out that your dream job actually isn't your dream job, your rent increasing, whatever may seem like the most tumultuous, terrible thing that's happening to you right now, community and your commitment and your love for yourself, the combination of those two things can and will get you out of it. Even the darkest alleyways, the sun comes up, I promise. As someone who's recently been in a very, very, very dark place, I promise that if you are in a dark place, or you're like, oh, that really hits me in the heart, what she's saying, is that you can reach out to me, a friend. I'll even link some therapy services on my free therapy services on my Instagram, which you can follow at Matcha Mommy. Mommy is spelled with an O, a zero for the O. But if you just type in Matcha M, it'll come up. And then my fire business is Flirting with Flames, so at Flirting with Flames. I also own flirtingwithflames.com and matchamommy.com. So send me a message. I love just having conversations and making friends. So you don't need to need anything from me, but if you do feel like I have something to offer you, I'd be happy to. So
Absolutely
kisses.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And thank you for that. And folks, don't forget, go follow her on all of the platforms and reach out to her if need be, and then follow us. You can, you're watching this on YouTube, hit the little subscribe button and bell, and that way you'll get notified anytime we go live or upload anything. And follow us on Instagram as well. It's the Graybeard Podcast, or you can go check out my photography page if you want. Graybeard, words in the mouth.
It is hard to
Graybeard
say.
Photo Co. I know, say that 5 times fast.
And take care of each other. Take care of yourself.
100%. So, well, thank you for coming.
Oh, it's always a pleasure. I'm like, topic for next time.
Don't even need a topic. We can just rip. We can just go. We
I'll
just
be
talk.
back tomorrow.
I won't be here.
No.
No, I'm kidding. Love you guys.
Bye, guys.
See you next week.